Namaskaram. This is a very important video for all the students who are writing your Group 1. We have Ajit sir, who is a chartered accountant and who has qualified in 1978. Also, his beloved son, Anurag, who has come from all the way from Raipur, from Chhattisgarh. So, in this video, you're practically demonstrating the strategy for Anurag to go forward. So, to begin with, these are the three papers. This is financial reporting, this is advanced financial management, and this is auditing. So, we start with the fundamentals. If you look at it, all these books will equate to 100 marks each. So, in terms of the quantity, there is a clear cut distinction between financial reporting and financial management. So, that's the reason why, in terms of the quantity, we are giving this as a benchmark. So, we have in terms of quantity, you have to cover 100. Coming to AFM is the least, audit it's in the moderate sense. This is purely in terms of the length and quantity. Now, this alone is not a metric. In terms of the difficulty, it's exactly inverse. Because if you look at audit, although it has coming with reasonable quantity, in terms of difficulty, people find it very hard, both at the preparation level, also at the examination level, because the questioning pattern is very odd. Let's say the typical question which is there in financial reporting textbook versus which is there in the actual question paper, the delta is not very different. Here, what you see a question here, and in terms of the question which appears in the question paper, it's very different. So that is why people find it complicated. Hence, we have to put in extra attention here. Coming to AFM, I would say it is reasonably easy, but if I say wants to make a paper really, really difficult, that could be this, because it is completely conceptual in nature. So students may find it difficult in case of a very different and difficult paper. So this is the base level. Now, to know how to approach each of the paper, we are talking about the nature of the paper. So if you look at it, all the topics are largely standard driven. You have a set of Ind-AS. So it gives a set of standards, and we have to make sure the reporting happens according to the standard. So we call it standards with format based. Now, in terms of AFM, there are no standards, there are no formats. It's completely formula driven, which involves a sense of decision making. So, in fact, earlier it was called strategic financial management. So, it's strategy and formula based. Coming to audit, it has standards like FR. It also has procedures, and the focus of the questions is practical application. So, we need to prepare for each of the paper based on the nature and expectations of the exam. And coming to the ultimate target, we're looking at 150 obviously. So 150, 160, 170 is somewhere where we'll get comfortable. But the first step, what is the first logical step? We're starting with audit since people find it difficult. We are not, see, most of the students score exemptions also. But to begin with, first 40 is the milestone. How do we get to 40? Out of 10 MCQs, 15 MCQs, or 14 MCQs based on the question paper, if you look at it, you have to ensure you're getting at least 8 right. Out of 15, if you're getting 8 right, 16 out of 30 is a reasonable possibility. 20 is possible, 12 is possible, 16 is what we look at. If you do this, we just have to get 24 out of the remaining 70, right? When I say 24 marks out of 70 marks, it is doable. So this is the base to get there. We will normally try to get here in just 10 days. If it takes longer, we'll see. So this is for this. Okay. Now coming to AFM, the MCQs are not very difficult. At the same time, not very easy. So 9 by 15 could be a possibility. So we're giving it 18 over here, and remaining 70, 32 is a decent score. Less than 50%, it's fine. So this is 50 here. Here, the advantages, MCQs are relatively simpler, not completely simple, relatively simpler. So we can target 10 right questions out of 15 questions, 20 by 30 here, and we can look at 30 by 70. See, if you look at this equation, descriptor, no matter how difficult it is, we're always talking about less than 50%. In fact, here we're just talking about 40%. So 40% in the numerator is definitely doable and scoreable. And how to approach that, what to do it, we are completely strategic in that approach in terms of what is the scope of the syllabus, weight is given by ICI, and low hanging fruits, which will give you highest marks with minimal effort. So all of that is taken care. So this is how we simplify the entire preparation. So the target we normally approach is we ideally try to get there in 30 days, whether you have a context or not. If you see how we started yesterday, we want to get there in 30 days with a cushion of another 15, 20 days based on the result of the other group. Okay, this is how we are going to approach this, Anurag. So at this junction, what is your thought about clearing group 1 in November 24?
Sir, with this approach, I think that I will be able to clear because it is very systematically done.
So now If you follow this and stick to this, are you confident of clearing?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Definitely.
Sir, you have given 5 papers long back, and you have explained us how you have to tackle it way back in 1978. Now, although the papers have changed, question paper format is changed, the fundamental of CA exam is always the same. So, do you think if we approach in this with your wide and rich experience, if we are approaching this, how do you fancy the chance of Anurag in the coming November 24 attempt?
I am seeing his preparation. He's focused. But one thing I'm worried about audit.
Yes.
Audit, you have given 40 marks.
Total. Yes.
Total 40 marks. 40. And elsewhere it is 50-50.
Yes.
Still, one, if he does that, he falls short by 10 marks. Just see.
Yes. No. See,
That is the initial target.
When we have to create a target base, let's say if I make it 60 here, how would you look at it psychologically? The moment you make it 60, the idea is not to get over ambitious.
Yeah.
What is the simple first step?
Yeah.
So when you look at this is possible. Let's get to 140 first, because 140 is obviously not enough. I'm happy that you pointed this out. At the beginning of the video, I started with saying that this is the base. You might get 55 here, you might get 60 here. And a lot of people are getting 60 not itself. But this is the first logical step where we have to get in just 1 month. This is not the target for 3 months or 4 months. This is exactly where we are starting.
I think we can try for 45 to 50 marks in audit. We should try for that. Once
in my mind, it's 60.
Yes. Almost 50 marks he should get in audit.
Yes.
Remaining
one 10, should be 60.
Yes.
One should be 60.
That is what.
We don't know which one. Normally it's 60, 50, 40 will cross this one. 60, 50, 50 is a safe target. Because one paper is, one out of this will be relatively easy. So that is exactly how it has to go.
I think he can attack FIR. FIR he will be comfortable. I think so.
So a lot of people think in a particular way, but when you actually solve the problems, the scoreability might change eventually. Yeah. So that's why we are keeping it flat and plain, which is a generic target. Which I'm telling you, a lot of people they're touching 60s.
Yes.
Once they get comfortable, this is reasonably easy to crack also. But we don't know. That's the reason why we kept it as a base for now.
Your approach is very methodical.
Thank you.
That's why I have given my son to you fully. You have to just take him out of the.
Yes, he'll come back with a certificate just like mine. He'll come back. So, Anurag, in terms of the approach, do you think we can get started with this?
Yes, sir, definitely.
So, regarding these numbers, I'll give an updated number only after 30 days.
Yes.
Right now, I don't have clarity on what could be what. Yeah. But as you rightly pointed out, one of this should be 60.
Yes.
This should go to 50.
Yes.
Then when it touch 160 and answer.
He should be comfortable.
Yes, that is exactly the approach. This is exactly. Any other suggestion which you have for us?
Yes, everything. You are the boss now. You are the boss.
Finally, how did you take this decision? Because you have to come all the way from a different state, from a different part of India, and you being a chartered accountant, you could have guided. So, what made you choose us, or what made you come down all the way to Hyderabad?
Actually, I have become chartered accountant long back.
Yes.
But now I'm totally in practice.
Yes, sir.
This is full academic.
Yes.
You can teach me better than anybody else.
Understand.
Yes, that's what.
The relevance of
your approach I've seen. He has told me I've seen your approach is very good, methodical, and he has shown improvement in last 2 attempts.
Understood.
And he's expecting to clear this attempt also, barring one that last paper. I'm doubtful, but he's confident.
I understand.
This is very lengthy, but it's still open.
And also the context of the group one is there. That might be a challenge.
Yes,
we'll see what happens. In terms of the outcomes, it's simple because we are looking at if someone is expecting 150, at least it will land in 120, 130. So they are always there and given. So either we prepare for 150 or the extra 30-40 marks.
Yes.
The target for November is either 150 if group 2 is done. Else it becomes 200. Still it's fine. Yes. That is the reason why I'm not too much worried about the outcome. So we are ready for both the outcomes. That way we'll execute this first. And the difference comes in the month of September.
Yes.
Whether we do one more cycle of group 1 or instead of group 1 we'll do group 2. October is reverse for revision. So that way both the groups will target in November. Whatever the case it is. That is exactly how it is.
Let me see. We hope for the best.
Yes, it will happen.
Thanks.
My pleasure, sir.
I
Thanks.
wish you all the best, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having you. Anurag, I guess we are committing him officially because
Yes,
once it
definitely.
is there, so we have to make sure this is one last attempt.
Absolutely,
So this is
sir.
a commitment on record. So because he has trusted us, has come all the way. It was not easy for him. So I think it's up to you without excuses. Paper difficult, paper easy, whatever it is, we should be able to clear, and you are going back as a child.
Certainly, it took 11 years to India to win ICC trophy.
Yeah, that's a good.
So
That's a good.
I also will be able to meet.
I
I took
understand.
inspiration from that.
Very
I
good.
will also be able to clear.
Absolutely. So this is the spirit. So thank you, Anurag. Thank you, Aditi Garu. So thank you, Manju, for recording this. So we'll keep you posted about his results. Thank you.